Hey, hello everyone. We are back. Pixel Village is back, and I'm Radha Krishnan. A big good evening to everyone. Let's see how many of you. Oh, lots of you. I mean, fantastic. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hi, JMJ, you're here. Welcome, Mr. Radha Krishnan. Hope you have your coffee and your notebook and a pen ready, all right? All right. Himanshu Verma, thank you. Neha Nanda, thank you. It seems like we are going to watch a movie. Yeah. Well, of course, it's well, for us, it's a show. Well, if you want to consider it as a movie, you're welcome. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Naveen Uman saying, hi, Cheta. Hello, Naveen. Namaskaram. Murad Ahmed saying, greetings from Pakistan. Oh, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Murad Bhai. Thank you for tuning in. Right Click Studio saying waiting. Right Click, of course. Stay there. Stay right there. Right Click. Happy evening to all. And Anwar Tanawala, good evening, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Anwar Bhai, for being here. Of course, I remember meeting you during the show, during the Mumbai show, and I read all the messages that you send us. Wonderful. Techno Rajesh, Nitin. Techno Rajesh came in at 4:30 and he's been waiting there. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wonderful, wonderful. When we have Prasanna sir. Hi, Prasanna sir. Whistle Bodu. Saukindane. And then we have Deathstroke Gaming. My God, greetings from Earth. That makes it sound like we are from somewhere else. Ritik Adhigari saying, how are you? We are doing very well. Are you from Kerala? Me, if you're asking me, yes, I am originally from Kerala, but we are in Pune now. Chota Bhai. Oops. Chota Bhai. I hope I'm talking to the right guy. Or not the wrong guy. Srinu Vasu. Hi, Radha Garu. Nice to see you. Hi. Thank you, Srinu Garu. Emaindi. That's, Chala Baga Unda. That's a couple of lines that I know. I spent a couple of months in Hyderabad, so kind of, I can understand Telugu though. I've been watching your videos since January 2020. BDR, thank you very much for that. Chota Bhai, I'm from Kerala. Okay, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Perfect. I think it's the right time to start now. Okay, so, well, it's Pixel Village. So welcome to Pixel Village. And Pixel Village, as you know, is probably we are known for our online photography reviews and tutorials, which we keep publishing on our YouTube channel. But we are also an online photography education portal. I'd like to introduce you, before we actually kickstart today's session with Ranjan Sharma on mobile phone photography, I'd like to quickly give you, a kind of a small sneak preview as to what we do at Pixel Village. So just give me 1 minute of yours.
How I go and shoot a wedding?
You want to create something in the world, you have to come out of the condition.
I'm a lifestyle photographer based out of New Delhi.
पिक्सल विलेज का जो अप्रोच है वो जरा अलग है.
Okay, so that's what Pixel Village is all about. So Pixel Village is now also a website. where you can come in, sign up and watch a lot of free content, attend a lot of webinars. Currently, this particular live stream is going live onto our website also. So we do all that, and we also have pre-recorded, sessions, recorded photography-related photography tutorials by all these very senior photography mentors in the country, and we have them for you. During the show, I'll share the website also with you and also show you what, in fact, Ranjan sir is doing for us in that particular, session. And also, we had a lucky draw in Pixel Village for the month of May. In fact, we will be having that lucky draw today. So everyone who subscribed to our sessions, well, they stand to win prizes. Now, in fact, we have 5 prizes to give away, and we will be giving away 1 every day starting today. And so that'll happen towards the end of the session. So stay tuned for that too. That's going to be another interesting session. Okay, so let me talk about what is in store for us today. Well, it's about mobile phone photography, okay? But we are definitely not going to get into the legitimacy of mobile phone photography. We are not here to talk about whether mobile phone photography should be encouraged, whether it is appropriate as professional photographers, whether we should pursue it or support it. And also, we will not have any answers for people complaining about mobile phone photographers coming and probably eating away a little bit into the wedding photographers or generally the regular conventional photographers pie. Well, we will not be in a position to answer. In fact, that is not something that we need to answer, or whether we can answer at all, because there are lots of things which happen as a part of an evolution. There are a few things that happen as a part of a natural technological evolution due to a need of the hour. Some of them are invented by, let's say, a smart marketing man. Okay, so if somebody has to complain about mobile phone photography eating into photography, well, it is not us, okay? In fact, the first photographer who used to shoot with that sheet film should be complaining about us as digital photographers eating into their pie, okay? Mobile phone is not what, we don't have the right or a moral right to complain about a mobile phone photographer eating into your pie. So I have a feeling that I've explained it enough. Let us look at it as a part of the technological evolution. If at all, if there is a technology which was forced upon us, to me personally, is mirrorless. I don't think it was probably needed. It was a smart marketing man who came and sold the whole idea to you. He sold the concept of small camera. He sold the concept of so many things. Now, you look at some of the mirrorless cameras, they are as big as a digital SLR camera. And now look at the lenses that you have. The lenses have actually taken the place of the body. The lenses have become, humongous, and they become very expensive. Was that needed? Probably not. Well, again, we are not going into that debate or discussion. This platform is not for a debate. It's generally about presenting a situation, a viewpoint to you, analyze it. This is what we think it is, and we will have a neutral point of view. And as intelligent consumers, human beings, photographers, we should analyze it and take it for whatever that is worth. Okay, so that being said, I'd like to invite today's guest, who is an amazing photographer. He is a commercial photographer. He specializes in interiors and architecture, and he's also a photography mentor. And he, from 2011 onwards, have been actively using mobile phones to do photography. He, in fact, has done so much of work. And there are some certain times when I talk to him, when he explain certain technology that is available in a modern mobile smartphone. Okay, mobile phone is not the appropriate word. It's smartphone. Modern smartphone. Well, you wish you had that technology available in your SLR. The day you have it, man, that's going to be amazing. Okay, without any delay, let's welcome Ranjan sir on to our screen today. Ranjan
Namaskar.
sir,
Hi.
namaskar. Good evening. And
Very good
why
evening.
Photo Guruji, by the way?
Yeah, that's my handle on Instagram.
Okay, wonderful. So, guys, you know where to look for, Ranjan sir, Photo Guruji on Instagram. All right. So, I think I have set a backdrop, and I've taken a decent bit of time explaining, about today's topic. I think the remaining time, I think it is given to you. I will get off the screen. I'll come back whenever that is required. You give me a shout, okay? And I'll come back in. I can hear you. You may not be able to listen to me. And we will also take questions as and when it happens. Would you like to take the question at the end or as and when it happens?
I leave it to the audience. I am prepared to take the questions in between. So after every 2 sessions, we can take questions because they are quite related to. And
wonderful.
Then we move to another 2 sections. So that's one format we can follow, or till the end we continue, and then we take all kind of questions. So I'm open to both the things.
I think I wouldn't like you to break your tempo.
Okay.
You continue, and we'll take the questions at the end. So I think I will leave now. The stage is yours. Have a great evening, Ranjan sir.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I welcome you to this special webinar. As Radha introduced me, I started my career as a commercial photographer. But before that, it was the hobby side of me which actually got me into photography. I was probably in 10th standard. I had given the board exams, and after the holidays, I was there sitting idle. So I wanted to learn photography. So my photography actually started from a hobby side. Soon I realized that it's damn expensive hobby. So I can't continue like that. So the only option to continue was that I become into a professional. So I became a professional and started working as a professional. And today I work as an interior and architecture photographer. Now you might wonder, somebody who is well established and working as an interior and architecture photographer, why would he be testing or even wanting to shoot with a mobile device or a smartphone? Well, let me just tell you something. For me, cameras rise from big cameras, plate cameras, then 8x10 cameras, those with black cloth. Remember those old cameras? Then came 6x4, 5x7, and size kept on reducing. Today, a mobile phone or a smartphone, for me at least, is just an extension of the same photographic technology. So the largest camera I have worked, listen very carefully, the largest camera I have worked with is 24 inches by 36 inch plate cameras. The camera was mounted in a 30 seat room. Where are those cameras? Gone. Now, if I complained that technology was the better one, perfectly fine, then I should be living in that era. I can't live in that era. I have to live presently. So my exploration has always been with the technology, keeping in mind, or rather I would say I'm very much consciously aware that technology is just a technology. It's just a technology. It is on its own, it's not going to work for you. You are the one who is going to work with it. So whether it's a 24 inches by 36 inch plate camera, reduced down to a mobile device, on its own, it's not going to work for you. But here is a catch. today's smartphone actually are smart enough that they can work for you to quite an extent. So for this live broadcast, you would be surprised that this live broadcast is actually not coming from a mirrorless or a DSLR camera or not even a webcam. I'm actually using a smartphone, and that smartphone is none other. It's a newly launched smartphone, Vivo's V19. It is a selfie-specific mobile device where the front camera is of excellent quality. That's the one which I'm using right now. Why I have chosen this? The light level right now where I am sitting, trust me, a mirrorless or a DSLR will not be able to show me that bright enough what you're seeing right now. Being a smartphone, the technology is working on its own and it is recording that this is quite white, although this is not that white. The smartphone technology within the Vivo V19 camera actually is doing it. So coming from the giant cameras, which never used to work anything for me, today's mobile devices are smart enough. That's why they are called smartphones. So they're actually working in favor of me. All I need to know is how things work, where I'm going to utilize those technology, and where I should not be using those technology. I should be aware of it. And this is where a smartphone actually helps you to be a better photographer. Mind my words, a smartphone helps you to be a better photographer. Now, if you start your career with a DSLR, trust me, your learning curve will be far more. I teach on smartphone, I teach on mobile devices, I teach on DSLR cameras. Perfectly fine. The learning methods are different. There's no aperture, so-called no physical aperture anymore on a smartphone device. So you don't have to learn so many things which you have to learn if you're using the DSLR camera or the mobile camera. So I actually got into mobile phone out of curiosity that this is the new technology coming in. Before that, let me just share a brief background about the digital part of it. I was not a computer literate person at all. I in fact never liked computers. Right from my early days, somehow most of the friends around me, I found computers were being used to play games. And I used to wonder, why the hell you use a computer to play a game? Why not physically go out to the playground and play? Why should be you playing the computer games? Or whole day sitting and chatting? Again, my question to myself used to be, go and chat to the real person. Why are you chatting on computer? So I was personally not much into computers. It was 1998, somewhere 1998 probably, that I was exposed to a digital back from Phase 1. That really changed my perception about digital and computers. I saw a digital back, a digital device. In those days, the issue was, as a photographer, if I shoot, what will happen is the next step is give the roll for processing. The next day, you will collect the roll from the processing lab. The processing either might be perfectly fine or it may go haywire. If it goes haywire, you will have to redo. If it is perfectly fine, you select and then give it for scanning. It usually used to take approximately 3 days minimum to get a digital file. This Phase 1 digital back gave me instant, within 30 seconds, the digital image was live on the computer screen. I was shocked. Wow, that's a great technology. Now, I was not computer literate. I wanted to, but then it's going to take time. So it took me almost a year to figure it out whether I want to go this route or not. Now, in those days, I was having 2 Hasselblad bodies and a Sinar camera with 2 lenses and a 35mm film camera, Nikon body. And I was almost at a crossroad what to do. Because in those early days, the digital camera was completely different and was not compatible directly with your existing camera. And quite confused, I said, somewhere I have to start. So let's start. But then soon I realized that if I start, I would be in two different boats. One is taking me towards the digital route and another one taking me into the conventional route. Can I ride both the boats? My answer to myself was, no, it would be foolishness if you do so. So it was a very hard decision at that time to sell off your film gear. Yes, I sold my Sonar, I sold my Hasselblad, I sold my 35 Nikon camera body and couple of lenses. When I say couple of lenses, more than a dozen lenses, and switched to digital in 1999. And 1999, being an early adopter of technology, I got a golden chance that I actually studied digital imaging. Like my earlier background, people of my age actually in this country never had an opportunity because we never had photography school. So we never had photography education as such. So I have no educational background in terms of photography. We learned on the job. But here, at the time of moving from film to digital, I had an ample opportunity of almost a year that you want to learn digital imaging. What is digital imaging? So I actually went to Singapore and I enrolled myself into a workshop. From the workshop, I figured out it's not enough. I need to learn furthermore. So I learned and then came back to India with a camera. And in the year 2000, I had fully sold all my gadgets, the film cameras, and had moved completely to digital. So my digital imaging background is rock solid with good amount of technical information. So I use the technology. So when I say I use technology, I mean with film, you were in not full control. The lab had a role to play. The film stock itself had a role to play. With digital imaging and everything in-house, we had real control. And trust me, this control actually brings more of a problem too. My first job with the digital camera turned out to be a disaster. Listen very carefully. Reason is, in those days, color management was not being practiced. So we all had a habit of eyeballing with the so-called max screen. And my first job went absolute flat. But that didn't deter me. I figured it out that I need to apply my learnings and go back to the desk and redo the images. So the processing problem was there and we redid that. The printing press was not ours. So the files will go out and at the printing stage, they were not being handled correctly. So I came up all those hurdles one by one. So from 2000 to 2020, my journey of 20 years has been completely into digital. I do not shoot film and I do not miss film also. There are people who are very nostalgic about film was all really great. It had some amazing. I agree with that statement that film was definitely better. But then you have to go further back. A 35mm film came in. 120mm film was far better. 120mm film came in. Before that, a 4x5 large format camera was far better. So you can keep on going back. There is no end to it. We have to move forward. And in series of moving forward, technology will definitely come to you. You will have two options. Reject it, or you have an or option. You have to adopt it. There's no other option. You have to adopt it. So I won't say that A camera is better or B camera is better. These are just tools. You are going to use it as a tool. It's like a pen to a poet. A pen never writes a poetry. The poet writes the poetry. Now, the poet does not necessarily need so-and-so brand pen. Only then he will write the poetry. same way as a photographer, I just need a tool. It's good that in 2020, I'm having tools which are smart enough to understand my limitations of my lighting, like this particular smartphone camera, which is doing this live broadcast, and it is helping me in a way. So I moved to showing you some images of digital era where I started. And my interest in digital imaging started with computational photography capabilities built into smartphone. Now, what is computational photography? Anything which the optical camera can do, the smartphone does the same thing, but without having the optics. It does not have the aperture. It cannot do many things if the computational photography is not there, because it's a very small device. The sensor is extremely small. So it's a known fact that a small sensor will produce a lot of noise. But then how we came up to this era is by using computational photography. So can you figure it out? What is the earliest memory you have of computational photography in your phone? Just make a guess. Audience, just make a guess. What was your earliest smartphone camera having computational photography capability? Radha, over to you.
Yeah. So Ranjan sir is asking the viewers to respond if you've heard about computational photography, or if you know of the first feature that used computational photography. Well, if you know it already, he would like you to share it on the screen as a comment. You're talking about a feature or a camera or a phone model?
No, any phone model, but the first feature.
So he's talking about Mayuresh is talking about Nokia 3310. Then
what was the feature?
Mayuresh,
what was the feature?
camera. He's saying VGA camera.
Okay, but that was not a computational photography. It was just a VGA camera came into existence with smartphones.
Sandeep Srivastava saying that it is 6600 Nokia. Okay, I think we should move ahead.
Okay.
Shashank is saying that it is HDR.
HDR came much later. Much later. Much later.
Yeah.
You will be surprised that the first camera coming to computational photography feature came with panorama capability. Google acquired many small companies for technology, and they invented certain technology for their street view. Now, street view showed a panoramic image. Now I'm sharing my desktop. Can you switch on the desktop? Yeah. So street view used to do this kind of panorama. So this is a complete 360-degree view you were able to record with street view camera. So there was no Google camera at that particular time. It was inbuilt into street view. And initially, Google made it available only to the Google trusted photographers. So my background is with shooting panoramas, and I was listed as Google trusted photographer. So I got my hand on this technology, and I was thrilled that a mobile phone is being made capable to shoot the future 360-degree panorama. So this is the earliest form of computational photography. Now, have you ever wondered that how does the camera know that you are shooting a 360-degree panorama? The secret is that in your camera, there is a gyro sensor. The gyro sensor actually is going to record your entire movement. So when you pan, how you shoot a 360 degree is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and you take a circle and then come back to the same point. Then you move up 1, 2, 3, and so on. So you would take 36 shots around, and the sensor, the gyro sensor in this phone actually was able to know whether your orientation is like this or like this. And it will point you and guide you to do this. This movement was being recorded by the gyro sensor. This information by the gyro sensor was combined and tied to the particular image which was being photographed. And later on, the Google Street View algorithm will combine it as give you a final output of a panorama like this. So what you saw as a Google Street View was the first computational photography technology built into a mobile device. Then came in your regular panorama, which is called the partial panorama.
I seems to have lost your audio, and your images is kind of stuck. So maybe you'll have to reboot, Ranjan sir. So I will come back to you once you come back. Once you fix that, I'll come back to you quickly. Okay, and in the meantime, we are somewhere in the middle. It was an interesting thing, and I didn't know that it was computational photography that created all that situation. Okay, sorry, computational photography is what which got us that very interesting. Is he there? Has he come back? No, I think he's encountering a network issue, I think. All right. Hopefully he'll be back. The moment he's back, we will bring him onto the screen. These are times when when people are fighting for. Everybody is on internet now, and everyone is fighting for that bandwidth. So please excuse with us. We'll be back with you the moment we have we get him back. I'll bring him back on to the screen. In the meantime, let me tell you that has he come back? Has he come back? Oh yeah, he's back. He's back. Okay, right. Okay, so there he is, and that's what he was talking about. And let me leave him.
So, what was the last thing you heard from me, Radha?
Yeah, so you were talking about the street view to panorama, the regular partial panorama.
Okay. The partial panorama. Okay, so the partial panorama is mostly being utilized by people nowadays in mobile, and there are two ways of doing it. One is the horizontal panorama, like this is the horizontal panorama done by 13 shots approximately from left to right. This is a fisheye view. Mind you, this is a fisheye view being captured from Google camera. Unbelievable that a smartphone camera can actually take a fisheye image. So this is still the same panorama. So in this case, I'm actually not moving like this. I'm moving only in one particular direction, and it guides me to take multiple shots. So my phone remains focused on one particular side. I'm not taking a 360-degree panorama here. The app will automatically guide the user. This is another panorama. It's a horizontal panorama. By the way, this is from my balcony. This is the place where I live. It's a beautiful place. Then the same panorama technology can also work to take vertical panoramas. Now, doing a vertical panorama with a DSLR or a mirrorless is and was a very difficult task. With a mobile phone, I don't have to worry at all about anything. I repeat, I don't have to worry about anything. All I need to do is just take the phone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 shots panorama vertical is there in front of me. Another vertical panorama. A horizontal panorama. Then I use panorama even for people shots and during event. So this is one of the event at school where we had played djembe and everybody was dancing, and this kind of shot was required to show the entire expense and the amount of people which were there. So I used the panorama feature, a horizontal panorama, on that particular location. So it tells a story of its own in panoramic format. Another shot of the same event. Now this comes up a top notch. This was shot with Zenfone Zoom S. Zenfone Zoom till date is one of the most developed phone in terms of HDR Pro. It has a feature called HDR Pro. This is a panorama of approximately 170 degrees. And if I zoom in, you will be shocked to see the quality. That amount of detail.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. I mean, that's a ton of details there.
It's competing with the SLR.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a fisheye image of the same location, shot with Google camera. Another fisheye image. It's again a 360-degree panorama, image converted into a bird's eye view. This is a simple shot. It's a shot in one of the Delhi's market, Southex. I was just passing by and I have no plans. I was just going there for some work. And I saw this beautiful, huge, gigantic tree on full bloom. Now, this tree can't be shot in a single shot because it's so huge. And behind me are shops, so I have no other place to move further back. I shot 3 vertical shots in panorama, and it gave me a single output. Now, can I do these kind of shots with a DSLR or a mirrorless? Trust me, even if I have it, very few DSLR mirrorless have the inbuilt panorama stitching facility, number one. Number two, most of the time, in spite of me being professional, the cameras are not being carried every now and then, everywhere if I'm going. I'm not carrying my cameras. So if I'm not going on a photographic work, by default, the camera either would be kept in the car or at home or in the cupboard. It's not there with me, but my mobile device is always there with me. And it is pretty capable to tell me the story. So I wanted to tell this story that having an absolute deep blue sky in the month of April, that too in the city of Delhi, which is quite polluted, I wanted to tell the story. I immediately pick up the camera, point it, 1, 2, 3, walk away. Instantly, I have a shot without any failure. This is the power of computational photography, which Google brought into the phones. So the earliest example of Google bringing computational photography was the present technology of panorama, which you are using. Everybody is using panorama nowadays. This is a vertical panorama. This is a shot from a street of Pune. I think it's called JH Road, right, Radha? It's JH Road, and they have huge, gigantic trees. I was passing through the street and I saw wow shots.
It's
Huge
JM
trees.
Road.
And I immediately took out the camera and took a vertical panorama. So the panoramas can be shot 360-degree, panoramas can be shot vertical, panoramas can be shot horizontal. What is the question? Excellent computational. I couldn't read, Radha.
So it's a
Excellent
compliment. It says
computational.
excellent examples.
Okay, yeah. So I'll move further. There's a lot more in computational photo. In fact, smartphone today is using computational techniques. That's why they are becoming more and more capable. So you must have heard the night mode. The night mode is nothing but the another step of computational photography. Simple, long exposure, handheld, unbelievable, impossible to do a long exposure with a mirrorless or a DSLR. This shot is taken with Honor 8 Pro. Now, Honor 8 Pro has an excellent night mode capability. Apart from night mode capability, it has light painting capability also. So in night mode, what is happening? Actually, the general user of the smartphone does not know about it. In night mode, it is actually not taking a single shot. The sensor automatically knows it's low light. The camera has to boost the ISO, and the image will be grainy. By default, this technology is already built into the smartphone algorithm. So it automatically knows that this image actually is going to be a disaster. The computational photography comes to your rescue. How? It takes, and mind you, again, the same technology is being utilized. So if I'm holding the phone for 3 seconds or 5 seconds or 10 seconds, what is going to happen? There is bound to be some shake. Some shake is getting recorded in the gyro sensor. Simultaneously, the images are being photographed. So it's not a single image. The phone actually in my hand is going to click multiple images, 3, 6, or 9 images within that period of time. And within that period of time, whatever the camera movement was recorded was sent to the image processing algorithm. Now that algorithm is going to combine the images layer by layer and give me one final output as a finished file. That's the result which you're seeing on your screen. So that image which you see on screen is actually a long exposure, shot handheld, but there's hardly any camera shake. There's hardly any camera shake. Why? Because the computational photography knew that my hand was shaking and the low light condition enabled it automatically to shoot multiple shots. So that's the beauty of this computational photography technology. It's another shot in another fair taken with a Zenfone Zoom S. Zenfone Zoom S also has, so all the night modes and all the mobile devices are actually working on the same principle. Some are very good, some are okay, some are not so okay, but the technology behind that is exactly the same, that in night mode, you have to reasonably hold your camera still and automatically the final file output will be given to you. This shot is on Sharad Purnima and bright full moon is happening on India Gate and I shot. Now this shot is not handheld, this was on a tripod because I was very much aware that I'm going to shoot at night. So I was having the tripod, so I mounted on a tripod. Mind you, on night mode, tripod is recommended by default. Just remember that tripod is recommended, but if you can handhold the device stable for 3 seconds or 6 seconds, that's good enough too. So that comes by practice. But if you have a tripod, definitely the tripod is recommended. So this is a long shot, probably I think around 6 or 7 seconds exposure, because I was on a tripod. This is the same location, a different time. Same location. This is almost the same night mode shot. Different smartphone used here, Zenfone Zoom S. Now, this is night mode combined with long exposure. So night mode has multiple ways. In certain phones, it allows you much longer exposure. In certain phones, it allows you very quick shot only, so not long exposure. So because this particular phone allowed me long exposure, you see the water falling as a trail. That's again night mode. Now that comes up as a very different. Honor and Huawei phones specifically have night mode combined with their light painting mode. So this shot technically has been shot on light painting star trail mode. So there is a mode where the computational photography is going to take up the challenge of processing the entire image within the camera. Listen very carefully. To do the same shot with a DSLR or a mirrorless, I will have to shoot multiple shots, let's say 200 or 300 shots over a period of 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever time I set. And then come back and download all the images, open them in Photoshop or some other processing software, and manually combine them one by one in layers. And then I will get, so after hours of processing, I will get this shot. The Honor and Huawei light painting mode is amazing. Instantly, it gives me a final processed shot. So this is what you're seeing here on your screen is 2 hour long exposure on a starry night in the hills. What does the computational photography does here is it records the darks and the highlights, the shadows and the highlights, and lock the value in between. Now, once that exposure is locked, it knows what is the brightest value, and it won't let it go above 255. That's your brightest point. And the shadow value of 0, it won't go any further down. In between, whatever the light sources which are moving, it will record only those light sources. And this is happening simultaneously, one by one. Exposures are happening. So on the screen, I can see that it is continuously shooting like this. And it is building up the processing file, the processed file right then and there. I can see live on the screen that the trails are slowly building up. And like that, it continuously builds up. And I can watch how much trail I need. I actually had planned after this, I planned another 8-hour exposure, but the cold was so much that the phone battery could not work in that cold and it stopped in between. Otherwise, I've shown you another exposure from the same night of 8-hour exposure. This was shot between 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. approximately. And from 10:30, I had set up another exposure. So that could not complete. So Honor phones and Huawei phones have this unique feature. I'll show you furthermore. I can shoot unlimited amount of time. Listen again very carefully. Unlimited exposure, because computational photography is doing that job for me. I can shoot in broad daylight 1 hour exposure or 10-hour exposure without overexposing my final shot. Impossible on any digital SLR or a mirrorless camera or any other kind of conventional photography. This is only made possible by the computational photography methods. So simultaneously, the camera is going to do the processing and give me a final file. I'll show you other light painting shots also in the next section. Now that's a shot, handheld. It's a 6-second exposure. Handheld, 6-second exposure. Unbelievable. I just can't think of doing it with any DSLR or a mirrorless camera. So why I'm comparing it? You might be wondering why I'm keep on comparing. Because I use them. At the same location, if I have a DSLR or mirrorless camera with me, will I pick up and do this attempt? My answer is no. I know that I need a tripod, and tripods are not allowed inside Qutub Minar, not without permission. And taking permission is quite a problem. And if I have a camera with me, I point, I can take a short exposure. I can't get this result because this requires long exposure. So alternative is I boost my ISO to 3200 or 6400 and then try to manage with the enormous amount of noise in post-processing software. This is absolutely without any noise, handheld, 6-second exposure. And trust me, it's only those 6 to 10 seconds I was there and I moved on. So I was not even bothered ki shot theek aaya ki nahi aaya. I was 100% sure that the shot has been recorded perfectly fine because the smartphone technology is working for me.
Ranjan sir.
Yeah.
I think this is the right time to announce our winner of last month's competition.
Okay.
Because people are there are good numbers, and I'm sure there are lots of subscribers. I mean, not subscribers, are people who have subscribed classes, enrolled in our Pixel Village classes are also waiting to, hear the announcement. Okay. So I will quickly make that announcement and come back to you. And friends who are there, hold on. We'll be quickly. I'll make that presentation. We're going to announce one winner today. There are 4 more to announce, which we will start, and we'll announce the second one tomorrow and the third one the day after, like that, during our live events in the evening, 5 o'clock. I'll take the screen for a brief while, and I'll come back to you, Ranjan sir. Please stay there. Okay. Now, Pixel Village, as you know, is an online photography education platform, and we have this website called Pixel Village, and in Pixel Village we have lots of classes. Okay, these are the classes that we have. So, in fact, this class is streaming live on our website now. This is coming up tomorrow. Unleash Your Artist by Jesse Oberoi sir is coming tomorrow. This happened yesterday, so you can watch that. There are lots of free sessions, free classes available, and these are classes which you can buy for a small fee. And if you look at it, this is Ranjan sir's class. Mobile photography. Okay, so you can teach, you can learn. It's a course detail. It's a good 2-hour 45 minutes session. Okay, so where he's going to teach you in English. He's going to teach you about mobile phone photography. It's available in Hindi as well. So if you want to learn the same session in Hindi, it's available in Hindi. It is 2 hours 8 minutes. It's not dubbed. It is re-recorded. So that's what our Pixel Village sessions are about. We have mentors. We have almost 12 very senior, very experienced mentors teaching you photography, about everything photography. Okay, from documentary to lighting to landscape to mobile phones to wedding and portraiture, fashion, food, architecture, small studios, and photography in a different, very different styles are being taught by experts at Pixel Village. So I would seriously urge you to go look at Pixel Village website. We also have an app. I'll share the links for everything in the website. I'll also would like to show you a glimpse of Ranjan sir's session.
Hi, I'm Ranjan Sharma. 2011 onwards specifically, I started experimenting with mobile phone photography. Mobile phones have actually taken up a big chunk of DSLR cameras. You need to learn to explore more with your camera. Do you notice how curious I'm looking at the street? This is that hunting, that's hunger. Knowing the technique and how the technique works within the camera is very, very fundamental and important.
So that's what that's a small trailer of that 2-hour 45 minutes session that Ranjan sir has created at Pixel Village. So I would urge you. I'll add the links in the comments column. We also have an app. We have an Android app, and using that Android app, you can carry your sessions wherever you go. Everything, including this live sessions like this, can be viewed using the app. I will add the link to download the Android app also in the comments column, so you can do that. Now, this is what we had last month at an offer. About 5 different prices to people who have enrolled in our classes. And right from ring lights to a flash to a Joby, a flash board, which is a light shaping tool for portable flashes, and a table tripod from Manfrotto, all branded up. So you have Joby, you have Digitech, and you have Manfrotto. And thanks to Srishti Digital and thanks to Digitech, we are able to bring this to you. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to announce the winner of this fantastic Digitech 18H, which is their ring light. In fact, I am using one to light myself today, and it's a nice, cool device, perfect for digital content creation for mobile phone users. And our team is the Pixel Village team is currently ready, and they are waiting for us. To do that. We're going to do it in the digital way. All right. So are we ready? Have we shuffled and be ready? Do we have all that? Yes. Wonderful. All right. So I'm going to take that screen on to the broadcast now. Okay. Stand by. And this is brought to you by Digitech. All right. The team, let's roll now. And let's clap. Let's clap. Okay, wonderful. All right. It's rolling. The winner of this fantastic Digitech 18H ring light will be you missed it, Ajay. It is Pankaj Bajpai. Fantastic. Pankaj Bajpai. Fantastic. All right. Fantastic. So there you are, Pankaj Bajpai. We going to call you. Okay, if possible, we'll try and call you now. I have your number, so I will call you. The team will send the number to me, and I'll wait for that number, and I will try and call and get Pankaj Bajpai onto the screen. All right, wonderful. That was well done, team. That's excellent. So that's a first digital lucky dip that I don't know. I'm sure people do it, but for Pixel Village, it's for the first one. And thank you, Digitech, the amazing people at Digitech for making this possible. And tomorrow we will have the other giveaways, the lucky dip. So stay tuned, spread the word, and download the app. And if you like to join the sessions, do that too. All right, so let's move on and let's bring Ranjan sir back again. Yes, sir, over to you.
Congratulations to Pankaj. That was quite
Bajpai.
exciting.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wonderful.
lucky.
Yeah, he is. He is. That's an amazing light. I'm using that. I mean,
Yeah.
using that to light myself. Costs about $6,000-7,000 bucks. In Amazon, it sells at about $4,000-5,000 bucks, I suppose. And that's going to be available for him. Wonderful. We will reach to you, Pankaj. We will get in touch with you, and we'll send it across to you. Congratulations. And yeah, let's move on. Thank you.
Okay. So desktop, I'm showing you the images of the night mode. Now this image was shot with Vivo V17 Pro. At this location, my mind is so tuned that it is swinging and the lighting is going to be blurred. Should I even attempt with a DSLR or mirrorless? My mind would say no, because it's going to be blurred. One, my hand is going to shake, and this swing is actually swinging. So I have to wait to shoot this swing only at its peak. But even at that peak time, I would hardly have a millisecond or a half a second when it just goes there and stays. Utilizing the night mode, I click this, and as I explained to you earlier, the night mode takes multiple shots immediately and combines them together into a one fused file. You hardly notice any camera shake or the swing moving here. It appears as if it's still, but it actually is like a pendulum. So it's on its peak when I have shot it. But there is still a movement happening here, but that movement is negated by the multiple shots combined together to give me one single file. Now here I move to the side, and this time I'm basically away where the more motion would be captured. And here also the motion is captured, but still minimized. So there are very sharp areas. If you notice, the static areas are still very sharp because, again, multiple shots being combined into one shot. So there are various angles. I tested this capability of night mode. Now I go into the exciting world of light painting. I'll first show you the shots. Now these are all light painting, which is not so easy shooting with the conventional mirrorless or a DSLR camera. You can do it. You will have to do lots and lots of trial and trial and trial, and you will fail. And after that failure, you will eventually learn what kind of settings are required with Honor and Huawei phone. Now, this technology is only available in Honor and Huawei phone as of now. You become 100% successful. A single exposure, and you know you've got the shot right. You don't even have to guess. Now, in this case, there are 3 light sources. If you can see my mouse, this is moon. This is actual real moon shining through the trees on the top right, the bright spot you're seeing. Excuse me. The top area is lit by, the sky is lit by the moonlight. Then there is no street light here. The cars passing by is illuminating this path. A single exposure, the light trails without any overexposure or underexposure. I can't think of doing this with the conventional camera. Again, the same thing. A different angle where the moon is hidden. So moon is not in the shot now. So these are single attempt shots. So it's not that I'm taking, first of all, in light painting, you can't take multiple attempts. So that first attempt has to be perfect or it's lost. With Huawei and Honor phones, you don't lose. You will get something at least because the exposure will always be taken care by the smartphone algorithm itself. This is a very famous shot on my Instagram feed where everybody had tons and tons of questions. How did I manage it? So there is a video also I can show you, but more than the video, I'll explain it to you what's happening here. There are again 3 light sources. One is the sun setting. Other is the ambient light on this entire area and the street lights blowing in. And it's the evening time, so the cars are entering in and some cars are moving out. So this is approximately 3 minutes long exposure. And the camera is continuously taking multiple shots and combining these light trails. So I had to wait till I get my perfect shot. So there are times when within those 3 minutes, I may not get the entire area illuminated. So I have to take up another shot and I have to assume that the cars will take the round and whatever I want. So I shot around 6 or 7 different attempts, but trust me, all those 6 and 7 shots, they were all correctly exposed. The only issue was that the car didn't go in the area where I wanted it to go. That's the only issue. Otherwise, all the shots were absolutely perfect. That's another shot. India Gate. Now this is LED lights. The LED lights rolled onto a stick. And that stick is being swung like this behind the photographer standing. Simple shot. Again, I took multiple shots. Only the pattern of the swinging was different. All shots were correctly exposed. All shots were correctly exposed. So with light painting mode, I do not have to worry at all about the exposure. Sorry. The camera will automatically take care of your exposure need. It automatically will lock the exposure of the beginning shot, and then it will continue to build up the exposure. And all these light trails are built up live on the screen itself. So you can see it, and when you want to stop, you can stop. This is another interesting shot at India Gate. This is a ball in which when you throw, the light glows. So 2 people, one on my left and one on my right, were just playing by throwing the ball. So I'm actually sitting in between them. They are not even aware that I'm photographing them. And they are just playing the ball. So somebody is throwing from this side, another one is throwing from this side. And it is creating a lighting trail across the screen like this. Simple shot. That's another interesting light painting shot. It's shot on light painting mode when the giant wheel is either about to start or is about to stop. So it's actually not shot during the entire full motion, because during the full motion, everything goes blurred. So there are other variations of this shot. So this is shot approximately, I think this is a 8-second exposure. 8 seconds on light painting mode. This is continuously moving. So wherever it is moving, it is creating a trail of it. That's another angle of the same swing. This one is moving faster. This is another variation of the same shot. So knowing the computational photography capability and utilizing it in the right environment to do the right kind of a shot of your imagination is the key element for getting wow shots with smartphone. This is broad daylight, shot at approximately 12:30 noon time. And this is a 7-minute pan. It's a 7-minute pan. The camera was actually mounted on a self-moving tripod head, and it was just panning. So the time which I had given was approximately 15 minutes, but I stopped it in between. This is around 7 minutes span. So it's continuously moving. As I said earlier, Huawei and Honor light painting mode allows me to shoot even a 10-hour or a 12-hour exposure without overexposing the shot. So that's one good example of shooting in broad daylight, long exposure. This is all happening because of computational photography. That's the same waterfall where I shot with a Zenfone Zoom S. This one is shot with the Honor 8 Pro. It's again a 5-second exposure in broad daylight. And you notice nothing goes overexposure. So that white water which you're seeing, it's not overexposed. If you take the value is not 255. It's not fully overexposed. And it causes, the water is flowing down and the water is causing that trail. That's conventional light painting shot. Single shot, single attempt, perfect exposure. No need to worry about the exposure. Single attempt, single shot, no need to worry about exposure. So it's so this I already explained it to you how we did it. This is another shot. This shot was also converted into a video by using a technique called cinemagraph. So this is there on my Instagram, and you can check this out. So where this giant wheel actually is moving. So it is moving by the form of animation, which is called cinemagraph. So it's converted into a cinemagraph. That's conventional light painting.
You think we can take a few questions now? Because I can see a lot of interesting questions which have come up.
Great. There would be questions. I'm happy to take them now.
Yeah. So Rahul Rahul Ganji is asking, sir, is light painting can be done all with slow shutter speed in a mobile?
Rahul, the answer is no, not possible, because the conventional mobile, there is a problem. The problem is of the exposure. Light is not being controlled only by the shutter speed. It is controlled by other factors also. So ISO, shutter speed, and aperture. These three values together makes an exposure. What happens is if you do a conventional 1 second exposure, the 1 second exposure will get very badly overexposed. It's just 1 second for you, but it would get very badly overexposed depending upon how bright your light is. So even if you want to do 1 second, you may have to either reduce your light, or you may conventionally want to do a 10-second shot, but within 10 seconds, you're not really sure unless you take a shot. With Honor and Huawei mobiles, you don't have to worry about the exposure at all. It may be 30 seconds, it may be 3 minutes. You continue with your brightest light source possible. You will not be bothered by the brightness of the light at all. That's the beauty of this mode. With conventional, it is not possible.
Mayuresh Amberkar is asking, was there any post-processing in these images?
The answer is yes. The saturation level is most of the time I would boost in most of the images.
Okay. So there you have the answer. There are two questions. If you have any more questions, please let it come now. We have viewers from Indonesia. We have viewers from Pakistan. We have viewers from, I thought I saw someone from Sri Lanka too who's here. That's interesting. So thank you very much. Let the questions keep coming. Before you move on to the next session, I would like to bring on another techie friend of mine who does a lot of a lot of videos on. Let me remove this. Where is this? Let me remove this from the screen. Yeah. Okay. A techie friend of mine who's a YouTuber. He does a lot of YouTube mobile device related videos, and he is a banker by the day, and he's a YouTuber by night. So he has his own funda about life principles. So I would like to bring in. I'd like to bring in Didi. I call him Didi. He's Deen Dayal. Here you are on the screen.
Hi, Dinial.
Deen Dayal is an amazing man.
Hello, Ranjan sir. Hi. It was
there are a
very
lot to learn from
educational to
him.
watch you today. Great.
All right. So Didi has a few questions. Didi, by the way, runs a YouTube channel by the name I Am Digitally Yours. It's there. That's his name. I will add his link in the comments. So if somebody wants to go and follow him on YouTube, can do that. I'm going to do that while you people chat about technology on mobile devices, technology and computational photography, etc. I'm going to move out of the screen because there's limited real estate available. While you chat, I'm going to go and give Didi's coordinates to our viewers.
Thank you, sir. So, Ranjan sir, I saw your live session. It was very educational and really some amazing photographs that you've put across, especially the night ones and the long exposure ones and the light painting ones. It was an eye opener for me because I myself have not really tried exploring this form of photography on mobile photography, although I use primarily my mobile phone to take photographs. So a really great learning experience. So I just wanted to know from you, can I do this on all these things that you said in the native camera app of the phone, or do we need external apps to actually boost the ISO or control the exposure, control the aperture value, or can this be done, as you said, in some of the brands that you mentioned, in the native camera app as well?
Night mode is mostly available in all the latest mobiles, native camera app. No problem at all. So night mode, long exposure, handheld, you have to reasonably hold the camera still and you can do it. As I said, light painting mode is only exclusively available to Honor and Huawei mobiles. Again, native camera app only will let you do it. If you install a third-party app, the light painting mode is not going to be made available to you.
Okay.
So the answer is, if you have a Honor Huawei mobile, definitely light painting mode can be explored. And trust me, it will really open your brain. What all can be done?
Absolutely. The photos that you've shown, I mean, are mind-boggling, and I'm waiting for the lockdown to get over properly, and so that I can go out and try it out actually. Even though I'm not using one of those phones right now, but probably I'll buy one for just trying it out. What advice would you give for somebody who actually is starting out on smartphone photography? Because I, like Radha sir, also believe in one concept, is that high dependency on the device. One should not have high dependency on the device. One should have dependency on grooming their own skills. So how much weightage would you give to young photographers and aspiring photographers in the mobile space to actually learn the concepts of photography and then obviously use the amazing capability of smartphones now?
So I would suggest, in fact, to everyone who is just a hobby photographer, start with the smartphone rather than looking for a DSLR. Now, I understand the psychology behind buying a DSLR because, it makes you feel something, wow, I have a DSLR. But after all, trust me, it's just a gadget. It's like a pen. The pen to the poet. Pen is not going to write the poetry for you. So that best of the DSLR, if I bring that to you, automatically you are not going to become more creative.
Absolutely.
How do you become creative? One, you have to imagine, and that imagination needs to be translated. Now, what is the better tool, a DSLR or a smartphone? Today's presentation is clearly indicating you that smartphone computational photography will help you to make much better shots.
Absolutely.
So your success rate is far more, specifically when you are learning. When you are a beginner, like you can come to my conventional 3-month photography course on a DSLR. The first month, what I do, now that's the hard way I teach my students, that the digital SLR LCD tells you a lie. It's a blunt lie. Switch off that LCD, first thing.
Yes.
How do you learn exposure? So the first question student asks is, how will I see the image? My answer, and that's what we teach them, that you see your image in your brain. If you can't see and visualize your image, you will not be able to record that image. It's just going to remain a picture. So there is a difference between a photograph and clicking a picture. You click a picture, it remains a picture. You want to click a photograph, you have to imagine. Now to imagine, you need much more effort using a DSLR camera or a mirrorless camera, because the camera is not going to help you in any way.
Yes.
No way it is going to help you. It's just a tool, and it's a very pro tool, I would say. On its own, it's not going to help you. Let's say this shot which you are seeing on the screen. Radha, can you share the screen also? This shot on a conventional DSLR, I need a tripod. I would guess that I need at least on 100 ISO, I would need at least a 5-second exposure. That's my guess. After spending so much amount of time with photography, I can guess quite accurate. But I might be wrong. Because to this location I've been for the first time. The lights are pretty bright. What if 5-second exposure gives me overexposure? So the first shot happens. Now this shot, as I told you, this kind of moment will only happen when it is about to start or it is about to stop. In between I can't, because it's going to be very fast otherwise. So the amount of blur I need, I have option only that particular time I have to take exposure. Now the first try, the exposure went haywire, very overexposure. Oh, then I need to reduce it. So it's a trial and error. And that's the only method by which the students learn in conventional photography. There's no fixed way that you go to any location. And with the Huawei mobile, the first time student who's attempting this light painting, all they need is a tripod. That's all. Press the button. That's it. And the blur is happening live on the screen. So the moment you feel it is satisfied, press the stop button. So if it is 3 seconds, stop the button. If it is 30 seconds, wait till 30 seconds and then stop the button.
Yeah.
So I would advise to all the beginners, explore more of smartphone photography. I'm not stopping you from going towards the mirrorless or the conventional DSLR cameras. Eventually, if you want to use that technology, please go ahead, do it. But your learning curve will be far more, for sure.
Absolutely. And actually, just sharing one experience from my side, whatever videos I have made, 80 to 90% of my thumbnails that I shoot probably, or all the vlogs that I do. So I'm sure you're talking about smartphone photography, but the camera is powerful enough to shoot 4K video also.
Yes,
and,
I haven't not even dwelled into the video side, because the video capability specifically for the bloggers is amazing.
It's stupendous. So all my vlogs that I've done till date, whenever I've traveled abroad, it's always the mobile phone that I always have with me, and it's easy to film. It's handy. I can do time lapse quickly. I can do slow motion quickly, which probably one would be able to do with a mirrorless or a DSLR, but there are a lot of settings that one has to really focus on. So setup करना पड़ता है, वो सब चीज है. इसमें आप ट्राइपॉड पे लगा दो, आपका स्लो मोशन आप ले सकते हो, आप टाइम लैप्स ले सकते हो, and it really boosts your story in the vlog. So I'm a big promoter of smartphone photography and smartphone videography. In fact, I also do a lot of sessions on YouTube and Instagram where I do not as exclusive as your work, but whatever experience I had.
I'm sure whatever you're doing must be something different.
So one of the things that you were talking about was the panorama photography. So as you rightly said, trying the vertical panorama is a creative way. I have tried some different ways of using panorama where I start from a point A to point B, and I ask probably my wife to stand on point A, and by the time I reach point B, I ask her to go behind me and just stand on point B. So there is a cloning effect that happens. So that these kind of things you're able to do on a smartphone camera, which is quick and instant gratification. You know that you've hit the button right, and there is no second guessing to your talent.
Interesting.
Amazing. So, what about the what do you think about the influx of so many lenses in smartphones today, sir?
Influx of lenses are coming because they're definitely wanting to make inroads with the add-on lenses. I personally have been using mobiles where I don't need either a macro or an add-on lens. So most of the mobiles which are of the Pro series in photography have already built-in zoom nowadays. A 4x or a 5x zoom is already optical zoom I'm talking about, which is pretty good enough for most of the work you may want to do. And anything which is optical add-on, by default, there will be a degradation in quality.
Okay.
This is a thumb rule of, this is a rule of physics. You and me can't
Absolutely.
deny it.
Absolutely.
So add-on lenses definitely can be used. If you do not have a mobile which has the optical zoom, definitely use a tele lens. If you do not have a macro capability, you can add on a macro lens. Definitely it will help you. Then there are specific macro lenses which change the optical principle, the way the depth of field functions. Those lenses definitely are recommended, specifically for macro photography.
Yeah, so I get a lot of questions on my YouTube channel when it comes to, so because I have reviewed myself some third-party or put-on lenses for say Google, so for an Android camera or for an iPhone. So in that they ask me कि सर आप ऐसा कोई लेंस बताइए जिसमें वीडियो में हम पीछे blur background create कर सकें, ऐसा कुछ है. So are we moving towards that, or can we use these external lenses to actually cater to people who want to do these kind of blurry background videos using their smartphones?
Well, I would recommend using smartphones which already have inbuilt feature of what they are wanting to do. They're expensive, like the Huawei P30 Pro already has this capability. Honor 8 Pro also, it was launched in 2017. It already has this capability. With the update, they removed that capability, but the Nougat version had that capability.
Okay, so you could actually control the blur.
Yes. So the depth of field mode also worked in the video. So you could control the depth of field. The one mobile Vivo V19 which I'm using, its front camera has that capability too. I have not switched it on automatically, but it has the capability of bokeh mode. So there is a dual lens in front. And if I want my background to be blurred, assuming I was outdoors and I don't want that thing to be in focus, I can do this live video and it would be blurred. So I would recommend that choose mobiles, if you are towards photography, choose mobiles which have the pro photography features inbuilt. Adding a lens is not really going to help you with the quality. It may get you instant gratification that you might be able to get some wow shot in the image. In terms of video, it would not really help.
Okay.
Great.
Yes,
it feels like, Didi, I have come as a guest to your show.
Welcome to Pixel Village, sir.
You have you have more questions now?
No. So I had a ball watching this session.
Absolutely.
Really
Absolutely.
And thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure, Didi. Thank you. Just to hang on and let me, go on with the rest of the show with Ranjan sir. Okay, there are lots of questions coming up. Thank you, Didi, once again.
Sure. Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Okay, Ranjan sir, there are a few questions. We also have viewers from Germany. So he is talking about shooting with S10. Ken B is watching from Germany, and he's saying he's been finding himself relying a lot on Note 10, and he's saying it's crazy that my phone takes superior stuff than all my mirrorless cameras. Though I beg to differ there, not exactly so. Maybe you're doing something obviously wrong with your mirrorless. That's why you are feeling that way. Well, in Pixel Village, we have lots of interesting sessions. If you would like to, sign up and purchase, and you'll definitely want to improve your, images with images that you will make with your mirrorless. But however, thank you very much for watching us from Germany and even commenting on our chat. Okay, so that actually has taken us to 1 hour 30 minutes of the session. So Ranjan sir, I would like to give a heads up to people that if they wish to purchase Ranjan sir's session, you need to go to pixelvillage.com and watch there you will have I'd like to quickly show them about where our sessions are. Can I do that quickly?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so I thought I will share this. So you go to pixelvillage.com. That's where we are, and this is the website, and we have all these people supporting us. And you go to courses. I mean, of course, so you need to first sign up. And then you can either look for categories here. Look for category. Ranjan sir is in mobile phone photography. Click on mobile phone, and there you are. So we have just added only 2 classes. More classes are coming up. They are delayed due to the COVID situation. So we have 2 sessions currently available on mobile phone photography. So that's, I thought I'll quickly talk about that. And back to questions, we also have William asking an interesting question. Ranjanji, have you done any professional assignments with your smartphone? If yes, would you be able to share any photos here?
The surprising answer, William, is yes. I've been shooting professional assignments with mobile phones, shooting DNG RAW. I will not be having the images right now to show you, but definitely I've been doing it. See, what is happening is, and this is a very interesting fact, increasingly, the clients are moving towards the unconventional methods of publishing. What are those? Instagram or website. And they are not going to print at all. So once I know that the images are meant either for social media or their website alone and not going for print, I definitely am able to shoot with a mobile. That's one category of clients. Secondly, the other clients also don't necessarily see the necessity of going for print, and they are absolutely okay. So on my professional assignments, I have been mixed and matching. So there are times when I'm shooting with a conventional mirrorless or a DSLR, and I'm simultaneously doing some shots which they finally select that, oh, I like these shots also. They do not know whether these are shots from a mobile or a DSLR camera, but they finally select those shots. So they are using those shots without knowing that these images have come from a mobile.
All right. Thank you, William, for asking that question. Which is a very relevant question. Okay, so that takes us. In fact, you mentioned the answer for this question. Anwar Tanawala is asking, sir, everything has its advantages and disadvantages. So we have seen the advantages. Can you show us the disadvantage of mobile photography?
Sure. The biggest disadvantage is taking the heavy toll on professional photographers.
Well, I think printing can be a little bit of a issue. So I mean, you actually mentioned that in the previous, while answering to William. So I thought, on a lighter side, yes, this is taking a toll on a lot of people. But here, I think printing can be, one.
Yeah.
Low light probably can be another, because unless not really.
For low light, in fact, the smartphone will out completely mirrorless or a DSLR completely. I am ready to take that challenge.
Appa, that's a serious challenge.
Yeah, that's a serious one. Yeah, my images in fact clearly tell you clearly that I cannot shoot those shots in that amount of low light with that clarity.
Yeah.
My mobile images will be far superior in low light.
Okay. So next question is Prithvi Raj Singh saying, which type of editor do you? Okay, Prithvi Raj, it's this session is on still photography, not exactly on video. I took it on just to say that we will come back with a session exclusively on
the video will
during
be
which time,
separate section.
During which time we will answer this question. And for information except how we can get. Okay, so we normally don't, Parijad Das Gupta is saying, we normally don't get mobile cameras information except megapixel or zoom. Please suggest how we can get, yeah, that's a question that I wanted to ask. What is this funda about 48 megapixels and 100 and whatever megapixel in a tiny mini, sensor, while even the large format camera manufacturers also struggling to add resolution to their, much bigger sensors. What is this funda? I mean, how do they do it?
You will be surprised that the mobile phone companies are playing exactly the same game which the digital companies mastered themselves.
Okay.
They have been packing more and more megapixels in the sensor. Do we need that amount of megapixels? My answer is no. You will be shocked and surprised that, like, I have a mobile which has a 48 MP camera. The issue is, if I need the print clarity, now this is to the previous discussion we were having, that if I need print clarity, I have 48 megapixels. So I can opt for that also. So in my work, since I need wide angle, it works perfectly fine. That's what I've been using for professional assignments. But if I'm using the highest megapixel sensor, that's a separate sensor, my artificial intelligence and computational photography features get disabled on that sensor.
Okay.
So I personally choose 95% of the time a lower megapixel file with better computational output.
Okay.
Rather than a 48 megapixel file or a 64 megapixel file. The latest camera sensor is having 104 or 108 megapixels. Now, the reality is I can pack any amount of megapixel. It's like having a chocolate. I was having a chocolate. You came in. So I have to share the chocolate with you. I have only single chocolate. So I share it half with you. The other two guests also arrive. So I break the same chocolate into 4 pieces. The chocolate is still remaining 1. There are 10 more guests. I can break the same chocolate into 10 more pieces. The overall amount of chocolate still remains the same. Same is happening in the pixel space, that the sensor size is not increasing much. What they are doing is they are reducing the pixel size. And when you reduce the pixel size, the mobile companies are able to take the advantage of computational photography. This is the same game which the other companies were playing in the digital SLR space. The sensor had remained either the crop sensor or the full frame 24 into by 36 millimeter sensor. They kept on decreasing the size of the pixels and increasing the megapixel count. Did we need that amount of megapixel? Trust me, no, we didn't need it. I still work with a 10 megapixel camera for my professional assignments. Can you believe it? It's 2020. My maximum assignments are happening with just 10 megapixels. That means my mobile today are having far more camera pixels than my DSLR camera. So we don't need more megapixels. We need more features utilizing those megapixels. Now that's where computational photography combined with artificial intelligence comes in play.
Okay. So thank you for asking that question. The next question is wildlife. So obviously, long lenses are not really available, or probably there's a limitation to the extent of long lenses that you can have on a mobile phone, which limits you from taking it out on a wildlife safari, of course, other than taking the travel tour pictures, actually shooting a lion or a tiger or a cheetah. Of course, you need to shoot all of them from a distance. That may not be possible with a mobile phone, at least for the time being.
As of now, it is not possible. We only have very few selected ones in Huawei P30 Pro. The 5x optical and 50x digital zoom is available, but that's a digital zoom. So the newer version which is coming, Huawei has launched P40. The P40 Pro Plus has a much higher optical zoom, and the digital zoom is still available. So there are the mobile companies which are making those kind of cameras now available.
Okay. Rashmi Prashant Nair asking, which phone do you use for photography?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I have multiple phones, and depending upon what my scene would require, I use the right one. So I have an old mobile. My trusted old mobile is the Honor phone, and my new one is the Vivo V19. Before that, I was using a Vivo V17 Pro. There are multiple mobiles. They each have different capabilities. So some cameras would provide you excellent macro shooting capability. Vivo V17 Pro comes to my mind. It offers super macro with 2x zoom, both in video and still. If I show you the video, you will be amazed. Doing the same thing with the DSLR is tedious job. So I have multiple mobiles, 3 or 4 mobiles mostly are there with me. Different assignments would require different kind of mobile. So there's no fixed answer I can give you.
Okay. So I think with that, we are well into the, limits of the show. I don't, it's a Sunday evening, though we cannot really go out and do anything. We are still in lockdown. I wouldn't want to take up too much of your time. If you would like to listen to Ranjan sir, of course, and you want to learn from Ranjan Sharma, there are, the classes are available at pixelvillage.com. Go to pixelvillage.com, sign up, and his classes are available. We will be adding more classes too. And we're also planning to have more live webinars. Educational. Now, this is about awareness and information, but he can actually also teach you through a webinar, and we will be conducting them soon, and we will announce them. So keep a lookout for that. And I hope today's session was useful to you. And if it is, yes, please let us know in the comments here. At this time, I would, request people is to behave responsibly during the lockdown period. It is entering the most critical period now, where you are seeing that it is kind of multiplying, or rather growing exponentially. So be very careful. Don't be adventurous. I know government has relaxed the rules. Doesn't mean that you need to get out unnecessarily with your friends, enjoy. You're going to be putting a lot of people's, including yourselves, life in danger. Let's wait for let's wait. Let's pray for the vaccine to, come soon. And of course, you can then do whatever you feel like soon after that, after getting one shot done for yourself and for your family. Till then, I would say, please take care, and don't be adventurous. Behave responsibly. Take care of the young and the seniors at home, and stay home, watch webinars, prepare. Anyway, emergencies like this, disasters like this, calamities like this have happened in the past. It's not the first time. You just happen to witness one, right? If you look at all those such events in the past, people have come out of it and they come out strongly, and new things have started, emerged out of that, that distressful situation. Human beings are made like that. So please be aware, use this time to enrich yourself. Okay. Don't get into too much politics, too much things which are not currently needed, which is going to zap your energy. Do creative things, enrich your soul, enrich your spirit, enrich your physique, enrich yourself, your tech, if you're a photographer, yes, learn photography, learn more about, do whatever that is that you can, because now you have the time available to you. Nobody is going to force you to do anything. You are supposed to be at home, and you're supposed to, follow the lockdown advisory. Anyway, I'm not taking too much time. Please take care of yourself. Please enrich yourself. Let's come out stronger on the other end of the other side of this event. And I'd like to thank everyone who has joined in this live session, people who have come and gone. I'd like to congratulate the winner of today, and Ranjan sir, for your time and that understanding that you shared with us, of everyone at Pixel Village, the Pixel Village team who worked on putting together that lucky dip, that software thing, and also Didi for joining us on a short notice. There are lots of questions coming up. Probably Ranjan sir will, after the session, will look up the chat and see if he can answer. If time permits, I request Ranjan sir to answer if time permits. Thank you.
Do we have time? We can take up questions.
Is it? Do you want to? If you're up to it, okay.
Yeah, I can take the questions. Yeah.
All right, wonderful. So, guys, people are Anwar Tanawala saying, thank you, Sudeep. Tell me how I can go live like you. Oops. Where do you want to live like me? Bina, thank you. How can do low light photography with mobile? Well, I think, where is I thought I saw a few questions here.
Yeah, please take your time, and we answer the questions at least.
Okay. Shukran Gulati saying, how can we do low light photography with mobile? Friend, please rewind after the session. Just go back, watch towards the beginning of the session, and you have the answer. Probably you joined just now or somewhere in between. That's why you don't have the answer, because he's the one who put the question, learned many things about. Okay, so the next question is from Arun Shashi, is asking that there are many low budget smartphones available in the market. Which one do you recommend to do photography? Low budget phones.
Low budget phones are pretty decent enough. They all have nowadays, like Vivo U20 was launched for probably, I think, 10,000 or maybe less than 10,000, something like that. They have variants like 32 GB or 64 GB. That is there. Zenfone Max Pro M2. That's another good phone, which I use that. It has a stock Android, and many phones within 10,000 rupees are having good capability. They have different variant of 64 GB, more RAM, that would vary around 14 to 15,000 rupees. So low budget, but just look for camera features. So if you are specifically wanting to have a mobile for photography, just ensure that you have the feature in your mind that these features should be available in those cameras. So Huawei has a low budget phone, approximately 20,000 and even 16,000. There are other cheaper versions from Vivo also and Honor also. And
all right.
Xiaomi is also having it. So there are a huge amount of choices available. Just ensure that you look for the features which you need.
All right. Okay. Rashmi, thank you for asking that question. The next question is from Rashmi Prashant Nair. Can we do product photography through mobile?
Answer is yes, big yes. The product photography, in fact, is mostly now going for e-commerce. So as I said, the images are pretty decent for e-commerce websites. You definitely can do it, but you need professional training, because just shooting anyway is not going to make your image look wow on e-commerce website. You still need the professional learning part of it. So in my case, I can easily do it. I have been doing it. So that answer to William also. William was asking, have you been shooting? The e-commerce images are being shot with mobile only.
Okay, wonderful. Sushan Mins is saying best mid-segment mid-segment camera-centric smartphone. Mid-segment.
Mid-segment is difficult to define because of the cost. But as I said, below 16,000 rupees, you have plenty of good mobile phones having good amount of features of photography. And beyond that, you reach up to 20 to 25,000 or 28,000. Vivo V19, Vivo V17 Pro, that's around 29,000 rupees phone. And then you go above that, that is, I would recommend Huawei phones. That is costing around 50 plus. So minimum cost would be around 60 approximately.
Okay. So Joel is asking, how can I reduce blurriness in micro photography?
That's wonderful. Can I show some images, macro images?
Sure.
So he understands what I've been doing it, and then I'll speak to him. I'm sharing the screen.
Sure.
Watch these images. You will find they are pretty sharp. The reason they are sharp is because I'm using manual focus. I'm not auto-focusing it. So the trick is that you manually put the focus on minimum focusing distance, that is the macro mode, and then move the phone front or back to get these kind of shots in focus. Once it is in focus, press the shutter button. That's the trick. The blur will happen, no doubt about it. But the blur is actually happening because the camera is on autofocus mode. Autofocus mode continuously will try to hunt if it is not able to focus. So when you are already decided that you want to shoot a macro shot, put the camera on minimum focusing distance and then physically go close to the point where things are in focus. Press the shutter button. That's the trick.
Perfect. All right. Okay. There is one more question which says, is there also a raw kind of mode till now available? Are there raw modes available in mobile phones?
Yeah. DNG RAW is available in most of the pro segment of mobiles. Some mid segment also brought in, but mostly the pro segment, like the cost would be around 22,000 plus in Indian currency. So most of the mobiles having DNG RAW mode also. But before buying, always double check that does the mobile have a DNG RAW facility or not.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. I think with that, I think it's time to end today's session. If I have to add one thing to what we've been discussing today, is that I want to wait for that day when the camera manufacturer, the professional camera manufacturers start implementing the computational photography onto their camera and probably make a constant upgradable OS based kind of system available on their camera. That would be an interesting revolution to watch.
Yeah, here I would like to add a point.
Okay.
Google offered Android platform as open source. So there was a Samsung attempt. There was an attempt by Nikon also. They adopted Android. I would want an inbuilt capability of an Android mobile phone married with a mirrorless camera? Technically, it is possible. I don't know why they don't do it.
I have a feeling. It's a hunch because of this. It's a byproduct of the COVID situation. Everybody is online now. Everyone is, everyone is everywhere now, right? I want to be instantly be seen, heard.
Yeah.
I want to send stuff immediately, everything, but I still want high quality. I still want long lenses. I want to make 4K videos. I want, everything is available currently on a DSLR. I probably, instead of expecting everything to happen on a phone, instead, probably it's an easier or better or faster way to expect a camera manufacturer to come and give you all this on a camera, right? It's a software. End of the day, I understand that there's no hardware inside a mobile phone. There's not even a shutter inside a mobile phone. So I think it's easier for a camera manufacturer to include all these on a camera and thereby give a fitting reply to the mobile phone manufacturer who's probably taking away a large chunk of their pie. And I still think that photography is the least affected, according to my understanding, because the most affected ones are the music distribution companies, and there are lots of other companies who are really bitten the dust purely because of the mobile phone revolution. Now you have everything available. I mean, your television at home has now become the radio, right? Television is the new radio, and your mobile phone has taken over. So you have the Android now built into the TV. So why can't we have an Android or a similar software built into your phone? Or onto your camera, and the camera instantly transforms. I think that will be a revolutionary change than a DSLR to mirrorless. Right? Like I said, DSLR to mirrorless is invented. It's purely a marketing, clever marketing man's idea, I think, because I recently used a lot of amazing DSLRs, the D750, the 1DX Mark III, mind-blowing DSLRs. They have all the features which the mirrorless was, talking about. So I would if somebody, the first mover who is going to bring in this feature onto a camera is going to kind of be the smart guy. It's with that note, it's going to be the game changer, I suppose. So with that note, let's end today's session. And once again, thank you everyone for being a part of it. Thank you, Ranjan sir. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, the PB team and DD and all the people who supported us, Digitech and Srishti Digital. Thank you very much. Bye for now.
Bye.